it's Evie. So, uh, I've been doing okay. I kind of wanted to do another story time today. Um, I can't tell if it's gonna be like, a good story or a bad story. I guess whatever comes to mind, I'll talk about it. So, but I've been doing okay since my last video. I've been spending a lot of time with family, a lot of time with friends. Um, it's been quite a I took a step back and been trying to work on myself. So in today's video, I guess I will be telling the story of how I ended a toxic friendship. I bet you guys are wondering, really, Evie, like your last video, some douchebag. Now it's some weirdo. Well, well, don't worry, it's a good story because there was no tears on my end. Like there was no I think I handled it pretty well. I guess you guys can comment down below to see and tell me how I did. So with that being said, let's get started, shall we? So also I bet you guys been noticing I haven't really been going out of my way for makeup and stuff like that. I've been trying to be a lot more healthier for my face, so I've only done just a little bit, and yeah, just to wake myself up because I literally rolled out of bed and I was like, oh shoot, YouTube video. Because I feel like I've been slacking, and I know I still have the series to attend to. Don't worry, my next video you guys will be meeting another one of my alters, so that'll be great. So okay, so about almost 3 months ago back, a lot of you may be able to connect the dots on who this person is. I won't be talking about names because, like I said, legal purposes in a couple of my other story times. So, I just want to keep in mind. Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you this story. This may be a little bit of a long video, but I'm gonna try to dumb it down just a little bit. So, about 3 months ago, or a little bit over 3 months ago, my Snapchat is open to anyone that wants to text me. And back in 2018, I created a Tinder account. Yeah, I know, online dating. I deleted it. I didn't delete the account. I just deleted the app. So I would randomly have people pop up in my Snapchat and just weirdos. And I would have to be like, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So I'll block them. So in one instance, this boy hit me up, and he wasn't from first impression, he wasn't one of those weirdos that were trying to hook up with me and stuff like that. He was actually trying to build a friendship and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, you were cool. We would talk about music and Marvel and art and stuff like that, Marvel, DC comics, and other cool stuff that I'm interested in. And yeah, he seemed like a really cool person. And and I thought, wow, I was able to make a friend. So I invited this boy over to my place, and we didn't do anything. It never really got to that extent, but he seemed really nice. It was the day before my birthday, so he said happy birthday and stuff like that. We hung out, and I thought, yeah, I met a really good person. So after that, we started texting every day. We would hang out, and he would come over to my place. He would sleep over for weeks at a time. This boy, keep in mind, I'm 21 years old. This boy was 19. So he was a little bit younger than me. He was also an honor roll student in his college and stuff like that. He was doing pretty well. Here's where it started to get weird. So he started to develop feelings for me. I never really reciprocated the feelings in return. I did like him, but not as much. I think it was just a fleeting feeling for me, because I started to certain things about him would kind of make me not interested. So I told him about my DID, and he was very like receptive and open to it, and he didn't judge me, um, which I was like finally, because I didn't want to be judged. So I felt happy. So he started to, you know, get very attached to me, very clingy. Like he would lay on my shoulder, and he would like pet my arm and stuff like that. And it was weird. I was like, okay, and me being me, like I'm very flirtatious. Like it may not seem it because here I guess I seem like what really quirky or whatever. Um, but in IRL, I'm really flirtatious, even without realizing that I'm flirtatious. So I won't deny that I did like, you know, flirt and stuff like that, but it was like nothing serious. So basically the romantic relationship wouldn't have gotten anywhere. So it got to, you know, I don't know if I should leave this out or not. I probably will, only because it's more of like a personal thing for him, and I know that he follows me, so if you see this, hi. I don't know which county he is, or else I would have like, you know, removed or blocked it or whatever, but I guess, you know, if you see this, hello. So one night, I am a drinker. I'm not like an alcoholic, but I like to drink. So I would go through like the wine coolers, like juice and shit like that. Like it was but I knew what my limit was and how to control it. Like I was never like, you know, blackout or sloppy and stuff like that. So and one night in particular, this is like fast forwarding like almost a month into the friendship and stuff like that. My mom bought, you know, wine and like really good wine, and she brought like Bacardi rum. And if anyone knows anything about Bacardi, I don't know if I should be saying that, like I don't want to get copyrighted because I don't know, but anyone who knows anything about Bacardi, don't drink it straight if you're a lightweight. You're supposed to like chase it and mix it with like other things to like, you know, give you that buzz or whatever. So he had he had like a water bottle, and I was like, okay, we'll drink, especially because my other bestie, my best friend Caitlin, was I only say her name because she's fine with it on camera. She was coming over, and so I like filled up his water bottle with like, you know, like a wine cooler, like what is it, like the sangria, like what is it, fruit punch, I think it is. And then I chased it with like a little bit of the Bacardi rum. And me and him were passing it back and forth. And he never really got drunk before, so I was like, you know what, I'll watch you, and you know, you can drink. It was fun, and then I stopped because I felt myself getting a little bit too, you know, tipsy, and I didn't want to. I just wanted to be buzzed and have fun and stuff like that. So I stopped, and I told him, I said, if you want to continue to drink, you can. Go ahead. I won't stop you. Like, you can drink. Like, I don't care. And he did, and he ended up finishing the bottle. He then went back upstairs, and this is after my friend Caitlin came in. Why is there a gnat in my face? And Caitlin and me were just chilling. We were talking, and we were laughing and having fun. And he ran upstairs and refilled his bottle. And I think he poured in a lot of the Bacardi rum, and he started to drink it. He got very, very drunk, but it got to the point where he got violent. Like he would, like he was drunk, and at first it was all giggles and shit like that. But then he started to like, you know, hyperventilate, and he started to like punch my walls. There was like one time to where he was shouting and yelling, and he was like, you know, threatening, and he was running back and forth in my room, and he was like trying to break my computer. He would like, and then he like laid on the floor and he like started to like cry about whatever. But then he got back up and he started like, you know, running outside, running up and down the stairs. It got to the point to where he basically collapsed in the back room, which is a laundry room connected to my room. And he basically, you know, he threw up on my floor. And then he like sat in his own throw up, and my friend Caitlin was trying to take care of him and stuff like that. And I was getting frustrated because he started to talk about like our relationship, to where he was just saying nonsense about how he wanted to like marry me and shit like that. It was a whole bunch of bullshit. Sorry for my language. And I was getting frustrated. It got to the point where I was like, okay, maybe I should call his mom. I realized his phone was locked and he was too out of it that I didn't even want to go near him. So I was like, you know what, I can't. And I had his sister on my Snapchat, but his sister was more on the younger side. So I didn't want to like scare her about shit that her older brother was doing. So out of respect for him, I kind of like, didn't do any of that, and I tried to like handle it myself. It got to the point where he had to pee. He ended up peeing on my floor. And I've dealt with like my friends getting messy and stuff like that. So this isn't like, oh, he's a bad drunk and shit like that. Like, I've had other friends, throw up in my room and shit like that. So it got to the point to where, my brother had to like, my adopted brother had to like come over, literally pick him up off the floor and like take him upstairs and stuff like that, so that way he could like shower and like, whatever. But I was at this point very annoyed. This was at a point to where Emily, if anyone doesn't know Emily, like Emily is my protector. She came out and she was like, you know what? She basically said, I've had enough. You can get the fuck out, and I really don't care, because right now you're setting me off as well. And at that point, like, it was getting to the point where she was just getting really annoyed. So he went to bed. I felt bad because I was like, I told you I would watch you and I let you, but I didn't realize that he drank as much as he did, because I was also trying to entertain my other friends. That was on my fault. So once he went to sleep, me and my brother practically like, scrubbed up, like picked up his throw up and shit like that. The very next day he went home and he came back with like supplies that like scrubbed the rest of the floor, which there was nothing else there because we cleaned it up. But he'll sit there and say, oh, I cleaned it back for myself. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Me and Katie literally had to scrub your literal piss off my floor, and you only came back to literally scrub regular floor. Like, it makes no sense, but okay. So at this point, it started to get like, I started like seeing red flags. So I talked to him about it the very next day, and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, that's not me, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, it's fine, because you were drunk. I won't hold it against you, because I hang out with you, and I see how you are. Like, you seem like a really chill and carry person. But my friend Katie, like, she's been around her, like, her family, to where she's seen, like, violent drunk before. So she was a little bit, like, freaked out about him at this point. So there became, like, so at this point, Katie, I've been trying, like, she's my best friend, and she just moved in with me. So we're gonna fast forward like another like week or two. He went out to like, like a concert or something with his cousin, and this all ties in together, trust me. And he went out of his way, and I'm a very private person with my social medias. Like, of course, I'll give you guys my TikTok, but I am, and you guys, I'm very open on here, but my Snapchat and stuff like that, my personal, like, information, I will never give my phone number and shit out online, especially if it's not, like, a business thing. I won't do it. So, I'm chilling with my other best friend, Nathan, and I get, like, a weird text message, and he goes, hi, I'm so-and-so's cousin, and stuff like that. And this is where I started to get really annoyed with this person, because there's other things that I left out, but only for personal reasons towards him. And I'm trying not to, like, like I said, I'm trying to, like, not, yeah, I don't know. So, but his cousin was like, hey, I'm drunk, but, we're at this party, we're at, like, this rave and stuff like that, and we're drinking. And I was like, oh, okay, he promised to never drink again, but now he's getting drunk at a rave with his cousin. Okay, cool. So I felt like, that was like a slap to my face, part one. Which I was getting annoyed with. His cousin then continued to, like, talk to me and was like, hey, he's saying that you're seeing other people, but he's really worth your time. You can still see whoever you want, but just know that he's worth your time. And I was like, who are you to tell me who I can see and who I should give my time to? I quickly hit up so-and-so And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what are you telling people? Why are you giving out my information? And he swore up and down, oh, I didn't know my cousin was doing that. It led us into getting into a really big argument because I felt like that was really sketchy behavior. Like, don't send people to talk to me for you. Like, if you have feelings for me, that's one thing, but don't bring other people to try to talk to me into getting with you, because that's how it was. And he swore up and down that's not how it was, but like, come on now, that's how it seemed. So it got to a point to where I started to get very irritated with a lot of things that this person would do. Like, he kind of started to give me like this icky feeling, especially when he would come over. So fast forward again, like after the argument, I forgave him and I was like, okay, cool, did you want to hang out when I got back? And he was like, yeah, because I was down the shore with my best friend at this point. So when I got back, I invited him over, and I'm the type of person to where if I have friends and I care about you, I want you to feel wanted. So I'll constantly be like, hey, come over, hey, come over, hey, come over. Like, not like I'm desperate to see you, but I just want you to know that I care and like you can come over whenever you want. I started to realize with this person, like every time we would get into an argument, he would throw in my face, oh, well, who was begging to see me? Or I've done this for you, I've done that for you. I started to realize that he was counting favors. And he would throw it in my face, and he would be like, oh, well, I bought you this. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, every single time he would just throw that in my face. And he would, like, kind of bulldoze through me, like, in the conversation whenever he would get mad. Like, he would start to, like, you know, raise his voice and, like, curse me out. And he would be like, well, I did this, I did that, you did this, you did that. And I'd be like, what the hell? So... But at that point, once I'm set off, and then I kind of, like, you know, at that point, then Emily, like, you know, because she's my protector, she would, like, you know, come out, and then next thing you know, they would argue and stuff like that. But this, like, so oh my God. He started, like, you know, going out of, like, his way. Like, he came back over, and it was me, my brother, and Caitlin with him. And me, Caitlin, and my brother were all sitting on my bed, and he just kind of like pushed himself to the side and sat on my futon, which is right there. And he just stuck to himself. We were talking and stuff like that. We kept trying to include him, but he just kept, like, you know, secluding himself back by himself. So it was kind of weird. We were all, like, you know, smoking and shit like that. And he had the audacity to pull out a White Claw, which is like a can of, like, I think it's like 12% alcohol, and he drank it in front of Caitlin. The girl that helped you literally clean up your throw up, literally try to calm you down while you were being violent and stuff. You pulled out alcohol in front of her and me and my brother, which was like the final straw and slap in the face to me, because it was like, are you for real? Because at this point, like, at this point, it was like, bro, that it's just being disrespectful. Like, why would you pull out alcohol and not one, share it with anybody, but then two, just drink it by yourself? Like, I just felt like he was just being really rude. Like, he'll sit there and claim, oh, I felt unwelcomed, but we tried passing, like, you know, the blunt to him. We kept trying to talk to him. We kept trying to joke with him. But he was just being, like, by himself and weird. Like, it was just, like... So the very next day, because Caitlin and my brother was like, we feel uncomfortable around him, I pulled him aside and I said, this is what happened. He got very defensive and very, like, you know, oh... well, it was just one drink, I didn't get like that, da-da-da-da-da, fuck you, fuck this, and he started cursing me out in my own room, and it took every bone in my body to just sit there and be like, okay. I had to hold back a lot, because I was trying to, like, because I try to watch my temper, because I don't know if I said it in any of my previous videos, but I used to have a really bad relationship with my anger issues, to where when I was younger, I couldn't control it, thus, you know, Emily or 0 and L would, like, you know, cause me problems. So he was, but then this is where, like, in the argument, I was like trying to say, okay, so now no one is drinking alcohol. This rule was made specifically for him. I said everyone so that he wouldn't feel left out. And he turned around and said, oh, well, who gave me the alcohol anyway? I never forced this kid to drink. I never peer pressured him into drinking. I always welcomed him if he wanted to. I said you never had to. And that was it. I never once, like, but he was like, well, who gave me the alcohol? Who did this? Who did that? At this point, I started to realize that this was clearly like a projection thing that he did, to where if he didn't like something, he would just project. And I started to realize why he didn't really have friends, and why his ex-girlfriend left him. Like, I'm sorry if that sounds mean for me to say, but I started to realize the blatant, like, manipulation here, to where it was like, oh, I may have done this, but who did this? Like, and then he went back to counting favors, and I was just like, okay. At this point, I started to get very uncomfortable with our friendship, like, because I started to realize, okay, if I can't even talk to him about this, like, it got to a point where my mom had to get involved and, like, talk to him and shit. Like, he was just, it was getting too much for me. It just makes me so frustrated. Like, so I cut this person off probably about, like, 3 days ago now. And I blocked his sister too. Like, I never had a problem with his sister, but I just felt uncomfortable to have his little sister on my stuff when I wasn't friends with him. Like, there was no reason for me to talk to his sister, because I only talked to his sister for emergency reasons and stuff like that towards him, because she's a minor. Like, I wasn't really, like, BFFs with her. Like, that's not where this was. It was simply because, like, you know, just in case. I didn't have his mom's number, and he never gave it to me either. For some reason, like, whenever I would say, oh, well, what's your mom's number, like, he never gave it to me. So I only had a sister, and I would text her and stuff like that about him and stuff, and that was it. So I just unadded her, because if me and him were not friends, there was no reason for her to be on my stuff. Like, there was nothing wrong with her, just I felt uncomfortable having a minor on my stuff. So it got to the point to where his family got really weird about our relationship, to where I felt obligated around him at this point, because his family was like, oh, are you guys dating? And his dad kept, like, trying to pressure us and stuff like that. I didn't like it. It was just an all-around weird vibe coming off of his family and him. Like, I felt like I was getting really invested into something that started to become an obligation. I didn't like it. So I'm at the movies, and for those that don't know, I have a boyfriend now. I'll tell you that story later on. Hopefully my boyfriend will be in it, but I was at the movies with my boyfriend, and we were waiting for my best friend Caitlin to get off of work so that we can all go see Candyman. Really good movie, by the way. So I'm in the middle of, like, texting so-and-so, and it got to a point where he sent me, like, not one, but, like, 3 long paragraphs about how he felt uncomfortable and stuff like that. But keep in mind, he would start something, and I didn't even tell you the worst part about why I unadded him. The reason why I didn't is because, like I said, it was personal reasons. But let me just say, he started to use my DID as a guinea pig. Like, he would deliberately try to trigger me to switch, and which you shouldn't do that because it can get dangerous. And I told him that I have alters that, you know, can get a little aggressive. So I told him not to do that. Like, there was times where I had to literally, like, force myself back out to literally save him from feeling uncomfortable. And, you know, because I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable around me, especially with my DID. But he would literally, like, use my DID as a guinea pig at this point, to where he would try to forcefully trigger my transitions. which is a big no-no, which kind of also set me off. And he did it out of curiosity. That's what he said to me. So I was like, and at that point, he texted me all this shit about him feeling uncomfortable, and I said, no. So I went off and I said, and I basically was like, you start stuff, and then you play victim because you don't want to deal with it anymore. Like, you start ripple effects, you start problems, you cause problems. He didn't like that, so he started to, get really, projecting and really like, oh, well, who did this? Who did that? You need me. You do this. You do that. Like, who was the one that was begging me to come over and stuff like that? Then he started to talk crap about my friends, about Katie and my boyfriend and stuff like that. And I was like, no, this is what we're not going to do. So at this point, I was like, no, I'm done. And I didn't feel like going back and forth with him, so I blocked him. The relationship got very, very toxic. It wasn't, I was like, no. But I didn't cry when I blocked him, or I didn't feel like any kind of withdrawal, because I was like, no, yeah, after the whole thing that happened with the boy in the last video, I started to, when I took a step back, I started to, realize my worth, and that I don't really need anyone but myself and my family and stuff like that. I was fully 100% aware with my role as the co-host, and I was fully aware with my DID. I was grounded and with my mental health, and I was like, no, you're not gonna set me off. You're not gonna, no, this is what we're not gonna do. At this point, I was like, I'm done. So I blocked him. And I didn't hear from him again. I think, yeah, I blocked him off my Snapchat, but I just unadded him on Instagram and stuff like that, but I didn't hear from him again after that. I don't know if he tried, but I don't really care. So, yeah, that was my relationship off Tinder gone wrong. And moral of the story is, don't judge a book by its cover. I know that that's cringy or whatever, but seriously, he literally became a nightmare for me. I get that that's rude to say, because at the end of the day, we had good moments. At the end of the day, he did do a lot for me. He helped me, he would come over and he would help me. He would help me with chores and stuff like that, which he didn't have to do. He did not have to do that, so I was really grateful that he did. But it just felt like he was literally counting favors. It was kind of it was just weird. I felt like he kept putting me in weird positions with his family. I didn't want to be involved anymore, so I just cut the relationship with him, and I told him I wish him no ill will. That was it. But yeah, that was it. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm doing okay. Like I said, I will continue the series of introducing my alters starting next week. Had to take a break. But yeah, comment down below what you would like to see next or whatever. I respond to all the comments if need be. And yeah, remember to like, comment, share, turn the notification bell on, and help spread DID awareness. It really helps the channel. We literally just got to 160 subscribers, which I know I boast or get really excited about every time we get to another 10s in the 100s, I guess. But you don't understand. I didn't think I would get this kind of support talking about my journey with DID and stuff like that. So thank you very much for helping share awareness. You guys don't understand how many other systems you guys help me meet, or how much you guys help me become more open and aware about my disorder. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.